To be a leader in healthcare, you need three things: a desire to lead, a drive to move forwards, and a yearning to learn. And you can't do it all alone, which is why the Australasian Institute of Digital Health run the Women in Digital Health Leadership program. And Talking HealthTech was lucky enough to attend the celebration event at the end of their 2024 cohort of the program. During the event, Nathan Moore from Talking HealthTech interviewed a number of participants from the 2024 cohort, and in this episode we talk about the transformative power of stepping into discomfort and overcoming imposter syndrome, the unique design and curriculum of the Women in Digital Health Leadership program that focuses on self-discovery and leadership development, and real-life stories and insights from leaders that are navigating public-private partnerships and digital health transitions. So the AIDH Women in Digital Health Leadership program is a 6-month blended learning program supporting your development as a leader in digital health. It gives you the confidence to know that you can, competency to know how to, and connections to succeed in the real world. Applications for the next cohort open up in March 2025, so head on over to the AIDH website or the link in the show notes of this episode to learn more about how you can take part or support the program. Collaboration starts with a conversation. Team HealthTech, let's make it happen.
So thanks for joining us today. Why don't you tell me a little bit about who you are and your involvement with this program?
Thanks, Nathan. It's great to be here today. It's a really special day for us. My name's Natalie Collard, and I'm one of the facilitators of this incredible Women in Digital Health course. And today is the final day of the third year of the course. So it's a really special cohort, as it is every year. But it's such a special day because today we're really celebrating a really visual and visceral transformation in almost 30 women. And it's a real privilege to be associated with each and every one of them. But as a collective, they just blow my mind with their wisdom and their support for each other, and what a genuine community of leaders they are.
Yeah, no, that's so fantastic to hear. I guess one thing, if you were wanting to speak to some of our listeners who may be considering either being involved with this program or just women involved in digital leadership in general, you know, a piece of advice or something, a reflection you've had from this, what would that be?
So one thing that is always true every year is that when we first come together, no one thinks they deserve to be there. Everyone is looking at the achievements and the title and everyone else in the room, and pretty quickly we work out that everyone's having a shared experience of imposter syndrome, and that brings us together straight away. So it's a really incredible thing. So if you're feeling that way, know that it is completely normal. We're almost at 100 women that have completed the program to date, and almost all of them had that shared experience. So please, they didn't let it hold them back. And the first act of leadership is really stepping forward into a little bit of discomfort and trusting that you do belong in an amazing group amongst amazing women. And I think they'll have each other for life. I do believe that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time and those insights.
Thanks, Nathan.
My name's Aimer Boyle. So I am a talent development expert and a development coach, and I'm one of the facilitators on the program. So over the last 3 years, it has been a wonderful opportunity to be with so many wonderful female leaders.
Wonderful. And so the program, I mean, what has it meant to you to be involved with this sort of work?
The lovely thing about this is that it was new, and so we had a lot of scope to design it in a way where people in healthcare, they're very busy.
Yeah.
They have a lot of pressure. There's a lot to do. And this program gave us the opportunity to have space and time to focus on themselves, their leadership style, and in discovering more about themselves, how they could, bring that out into the work that they do and the people that they lead.
So interesting just hearing you really call out that time piece and the importance of it for quarantining that space. So challenging. So for, I guess, potential women thinking about joining this program or other women in digital leadership, I mean, are there any particular reflections or advice you might have that you've gotten from being involved for the last couple of years on this program?
I think the common thing we would notice on day one is the hesitancy of, should I be here? Am I in the right place? Yeah. And I think if you're wondering about, should I join this program, that's an indicator in itself. There's something in you that's saying, I'm ready, I'm curious, I want to know more. So I would say explore it and give yourself the time and space.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm Kath Feely. I trained quite a long time ago to be a physiotherapist and worked clinically for quite a long time. I've worked both here in Australia. I worked rurally first and then at Melbourne, and then I spent some time, a couple of periods over in the UK working as well clinically. And then over time, I moved more into operational team leader, but I always had a really keen interest in data and how we can use data to improve the way we do things in healthcare. So it's always been a passion of mine, but there was never any real roles available at the time. And then as Australia is sort of catching up with some of the rest of the world with implementing electronic medical records, but also just thinking about how we can use digital within the way we work in hospitals, as mostly I've been in the public hospital system, there's really been some opportunities opening up for positions. And so I started with some small IT type projects, sort of being that liaison between the clinicians and the analyst teams. Yeah. And then I moved into EMR implementation. So I've done in an analyst type role, and then eventually I moved across to another implementation where I'm the Chief Allied Health Information Officer.
Fantastic. Such an info, just that description of the journey that we've come in Australia. It's something I hear time and again. So it's great you found yourself in those positions. And
yeah.
So I guess tell me a little bit about some of your recent achievements or what's been going on. What brought you into this program?
Yeah, I think one of the things, I've got sort of two passions, things that I'm really focusing on in my career at the moment. And one is from the allied health space. So we are a little bit behind with starting in informatics. It's relatively new, not only in Australia, but also internationally. And so we've been working really hard to put allied health sort of on the table, at the table, bringing their ideas and really supporting clinicians to move into this space is one of my key roles. And the other thing we're really focusing on is thinking about some sort of standard core data sets. So if I'm implementing a new system, I can just take something that's been defined and I can just get cracking with it for us to then be able to think about how we use that data in the future. And the other thing I'm really passionate about is supporting clinicians to feel comfortable providing more information to patients. So really, again, in Australia, we don't have legislation yet. That means we provide healthcare information to patients. But I've been really working hard thinking about how do we hear that patient voice, how do we connect with patients, and how do we get clinicians over the line to want to do that. So an example is we've just implemented and then trialled, tested, researched a set of questions for identifying patients who have a disability and really using co-design. So the patients are there saying, we're happy that you ask us, but we want you to ask us this way, and we'll feel really comfortable doing that. And then actually going and evaluating, did we meet our aims? So were patients actually comfortable answering these questions? And that's just about to be published, which is really exciting in Victoria, as sort of a standard way that we can start hearing our patient's voice in a different way. And I guess the other thing is being able to have this data starting to be collected, again, allows us then to start research in a whole new cohort of our community, because now we're actually able to identify the patients. And so we've spent some time, particularly the three projects that I've been working on. The next one is around First Nations and in a similar space. So thinking about culture, how do we improve the cultural sensitivity and cultural safety when someone's coming to the organisation, using digital health for us to hear from our patients. And I just really love the work. It's really exciting.
Such vital work, and thank you for driving it. So I guess the last question I have for you is, reflecting on your experience through this program, if there's any, epiphanies or advice or thoughts you might have for either women who may be considering joining this program or just being involved in digital leadership in general.
Yeah, I think for me, coming on this program, I was recommended by someone who completed the program last year. And I'd said, is this something that you think would be good to do? And they couldn't speak highly enough of it. And so I went ahead and applied. I think it's a really great mix of people in the room. So sometimes when we're in health, we're often just hearing a narrow perspective. Yeah. So it's been nice to be able to hear a broader perspective. It means that we have a number of contacts. But I think one of the key things is it's given you time to step away from your standard work day, which is just constant.
Yeah.
To think about, is there things that I need to change? How can I do things better? I want to be a leader. Obviously, we've put up our hands to do this. But how can I change the way I'm doing things to hopefully be a better leader, have more influence so that I can lead both, sharing information with patients and allied health, moving them forwards. So I would highly recommend anyone who is in that space where they're really thinking about stepping up. And we have got a mix of young, not necessarily young, but new leaders through to people who've been doing it for a long time. But I think everyone felt that they got something out of the program, out of having that time to think. And we actually have a really lovely community.
Wonderful. Well, look, thank you so much for the time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the program and can really enjoy this celebration tonight because you've all learnt it.
Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Glynnis Aubrey, and I'm a consulting technical manager at Oracle.
Oh, nice one. So what brought you onto the program?
Yeah, it was some of the people that I had worked with at some of the health systems in Victoria had participated in the program and spoke so highly of it. So it really made me interested to get the opportunity to participate in it.
Oh, fantastic. And so for those who might be considering joining the program or being involved in digital leadership in general, what's something you've taken away from this program or some advice you might have for them?
Yeah, I think it's a really great opportunity to reflect and grow on areas that you might not have realized. So we go through a process of looking at leadership through yourself, through culture, and through people. And I think that holistic approach really helps round you out and help develop you in areas that you may not have realized.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
So I'm Helen Cox. I am the co-founder and director of a boutique consulting firm called Miller Blue Group. We specialise in health, education, government, but mostly in digital health. That's our real passion area. My background is I've done a lot in government. I only ever really worked in government and particularly health for the last 20 years and have worked as both a permanent public servant, as a contractor, as a consultant. I've worked in various consulting firms over the years and just decided a couple of years ago to make the leap and set up our own firm, and have been really enjoying doing that the last few years.
Oh, fantastic. You tell me a little bit about what sort of the recent work you've been doing that brought you into this program, what you've been exploring.
Yeah. So I've done lots of digital health stuff over the years. It started more, I'd say, probably in the clinical space. So doing things like writing EMR strategies, business process improvement in hospitals, all of that sort of thing. And then over the years, it's sort of shifted a bit, and I've ended up more in that sort of workforce and like the corporate back office type space, doing a lot of digital health systems implementation. So doing work, for example, with eHealth New South Wales, running stuff there. And then in the workforce space, there's sort of been a bit of a movement more towards how we look at all those back office systems. So things like how payroll, rostering, all of the stuff that organisations like HealthShare do, so, linen, food, etc., and how all of that comes together and really supports the digital health journey. So I've been doing lots more in that space as well. And then also, whilst we like to do digital health projects, we often end up doing other projects, but then they have a digital health component.
Yeah.
So things like if we're developing a policy, or so things like I developed the New South Wales Health Talent Strategy, but then we looked with eHealth as to how we then built out all of the technology that could support talent management. So it's always bringing a digital health element to any project that we do.
Fantastic. I guess so the last question I have for you was, I guess, reflecting on your experience over this program, if there was some learnings or advice you might have for either women considering joining the program or just being involved in digital leadership more broadly, what would that be?
The program's been great. It's been very different to what I expected. So having done quite a lot in the theory of talent and leadership development, this has been much more sort of practical. It's been much more around building your networks, who you are as an individual, where you want your career to go, and having those sorts of realizations much more than what is the theory of leadership, what are the different types of leaders, etc. So I've really enjoyed that part of it. It's been amazing for meeting the most brilliant group of women who are all doing really cool stuff in the digital health space, and also that they're all around the country. So a lot of my work is New South Wales based, so really hearing where everyone else is up to. And it's really helped me with, I think, understanding how networking works, how you build relationships. I was really privileged to get elected onto the New South Wales branch of the AIDH committee last year, and I think that's helped as well, but doing those two things together. And I've had a lot of women come up to me both on this program and outside of that going, oh, how did you get elected? How did you get onto that? And I think it was just do it. Just give it a go. Yep. You never know what will happen. Yep. And I think that's one of the things we've really learnt on this program is you've got to keep developing yourself, and the only way you'll learn is by jumping in and doing new things. Yep. So keep doing that wherever you are.
It's been such a consistent theme with the people I've spoken to. Get out, give it a crack, and have a go, and you do belong.
Yep. Yes, very well said.
Well, look, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the celebration. And great. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
I'm Nirvana Luckraj. I'm the Chief Medical Officer at HealthTech Australia. I've been there for 3 years. I come from a general practitioner background, having worked in the UK, South Africa, Singapore, and across Australia. And I wanted to use all of my experience in a digital health role, hence I joined HealthTech.
Fantastic. And can you just tell me a little bit about some of the work you've been doing recently and how you came to be involved with this program?
I've been working at HealthTech on our new operating platform and implementing innovative digital health solutions. And I wanted to increase my digital health network in Australia. Having had quite a lot of international experience, I wanted to have more connection to Australia. And this program has definitely led to that. I've met 29 other amazing women who are all fantastic leaders and come from so many different branches of digital health within Australia. And I've achieved that. I also was keen to experience some professional coaching, which I'd never had before. And it's been really good experience with the two coaches in the program of having that one-to-one coaching, learning more about myself and being able to apply a lot of the learnings in my everyday work.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I guess just reflecting on your, obviously such a wealth of experience, but reflecting on this program or your previous experiences, if you had a piece of advice or something that's been a bit of an epiphany for you for either women considering joining this program or being involved in digital leadership more broadly, what would that be?
Firstly, apply.
Yeah.
You're not too junior or too senior to join the program. There's a whole breadth of experience in the program this year. And you can always learn more. You never stop learning, not only from the wonderful women who are leading the program, but also the other participants in it. And you learn a lot about yourself through the process. So if anyone wants to really get to know themselves better, more about your leadership style, how to become a more confident and able leader, definitely join the program. And also if you want to have more connection to a digital health network in Australia, and just to be with other women, because we have so much to share, so much in common. We go through similar experiences, and just to understand each other better and also share ideas. So just apply if you're thinking about it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Enjoying a wonderful day, beautiful sunlight here in Sydney.
Fantastic. We have to, maybe I'll do a pan shot later so they can see the view we have.
Quite stunning here at EY.
Absolutely. Good name drop. So can you just, for our listeners, tell me a little bit about who you are and some of your career journey?
Yeah, thank you so much. So my name's Cara Burns. I'm a research fellow and a digital health program manager at the Centre for Digital Transformation of Health, which is a bit of a mouthful, but we're based at the University of Melbourne.
Nice. Fantastic. And just give us a little bit of background of sort of what led you to be involved with this program.
Yeah, like many people from digital health, I have quite a unique pathway to get to where I am today. So I actually started off life as a medical photographer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then through 2 waves of disruption, people taking up digital cameras and then cameras being in phones, I knew that I would have to transform my career. And so that started my interest in both research and transformation. And so while I was a medical photographer, I did my honours, looked at doctors and nurses who take photos of patients on their iPhones. I got to publish that in some great journals like the Medical Journal of Australia and the Australian Health Review. And that led me to think, well, maybe research is a career that I want to take up, and what better to focus on than digital health.
Oh, fantastic. Really interesting pathway into it. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the work you've been doing recently?
Yeah, so I have 2 hats. I'm a digital health program manager and also a research fellow in our faculty. So I manage a team who does early stage project and partnership development for our centre. So when customers, clients, researchers come to us, we help them formulate their idea and get it into a stage where we can develop a plan, which we can then pass on to our wonderful Validitron, which helps develop and validate that solution. My other role is that I'm a researcher myself, and I'm really interested in things like digital health equity, consumer engagement, consumer involvement, and how we can rapidly bring together information so that we can have that information ready to make decisions about digital health development.
Oh, fantastic. Such vital work. I guess just reflecting on some of your experiences from, the experience that you brought into this space, but also being on the program, for women considering joining the program in the future or being involved in digital leadership, what's some advice you might have for them or reflections you've had from the program?
Yeah, so the program is great for people who are just embarking on their leadership journey. I've only become a manager of a team recently, and so this was perfectly timed to give me sort of, the tools and the thinking around how better to support my team and to manage them. So, but even equally for people who've been managing a while, it can give you a different perspective on how you think about both the individuals, but also the culture that you build in your team. So highly recommend doing it. One of the really good advantages of doing this program is the wonderful group of people that you meet and how they become your champions for the rest of your career. So I can imagine for as long as I'm in digital health, I'll always keep in contact with the women that are on the program.
Well, my name is Dreda Hurd. I work at Wyvern Health in New South Wales, Cherry Hills. I oversee digital health and ICT program, implementing everything from, or selecting and implementing everything from their patient administration system through to their integrations, telephony systems, and end user hardware and all those things. And it's really interesting, exciting.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. And what brought you to the Women in Digital Health Leadership Program?
I've been looking at, I've been interested in digital health for a long time, and I've always been, it sounds quite an abstract concept, but actually it's really about getting people to talk about the information that they want to share between each other, and then finding the right solution to make that happen. And so when I was looking at Australian Institute of Digital Health a couple of years ago, I saw the Women in Digital Health program, and I'd really love to be part of that, but I thought I'm not quite there yet. And then I spoke to a few other women,
Yeah, it's been a common theme of people saying, I'm not sure if I absolutely belong.
Yeah. No, that's it. And I think that our lives are so digital anyway. We have so much digital technology around us that when we ask ourselves that question, should I be here right now? The answer is yes, you should be. Because if you're interested, you're already part of it,
Reflecting on your experience over the last 12 months, what's something you've taken away from the program that for our listeners who are either thinking of maybe joining the program or being involved in digital leadership more broadly, what's something you've taken away from them you'd like to share?
That there's so much opportunity out there. And the thing that I've taken the most away from this program, I thought most of what we talk about is digital health and our expertise and what we want to do and where we want to take it. But it's actually about, for me, it's similar to any clinical system or any computer system, junk in, junk out.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, this program is really about understanding how you are operating in the healthcare environment and how are you taking care of yourself in order to bring your best A game to the table every day when you're working in digital health. So the thing that I've taken away from this program is that it's the self-management piece that's really important that will help me be part of the community that designs the digital health system of the future, and that there's so much expertise out there that we can leverage off and we can learn from each other, and it's just basically exciting. So, and I like to do exciting things.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'll enjoy the rest of the celebrations.
Thank you very much. I will. Thanks for talking to me.
So I'm Katy. I work for Silverchain, and I'm a service design manager in the research and innovation team.
My name's Sarah Pearson. I am a physio by background, but am currently working as the allied health lead for the EMR program at the Department of Health in WA.
Fantastic.
And I'm Lana Bell. I work at Joondalup Health Campus as the head of paediatrics and also the clinical lead for digital transformation.
Oh, wonderful. Such a nice background, all from WA, so well done representing here. So I guess the first question I'd like for you guys is just tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing at the moment and what led you to join this program.
So I work in a lot of digital programs within our organisation, and it's a really great opportunity for us to meet and interact with lots of women who are doing the same work, but from lots of different perspectives.
Yeah, and I would say similarly to Katy, I have taken part in a number of digital health projects within multiple health service providers within WA, but was really looking for an opportunity to reach out to other jurisdictions across Australia and support women. So this course felt like the right place to start. And I believe we are the first WA attendees on the program in Year 3. So it's nice to be here together talking about our experiences.
Wonderful.
And I think we've got 3 unique perspectives on different parts of WA health systems. So I personally work in a public-private partnership, which has got its own challenges, and we're on our own digital transformation journey. I kind of fell into the program with the increased amount of digital work that I was doing. I would strongly encourage other women to get involved because I found it not only helpful from a career perspective, but also really personally transformational.
Yeah, no, and on that thread, Lana, I think we'll jump into it. One thing I'd love for our listeners, any women who might be considering joining the program or getting involved in digital health leadership, if there's something in your reflections that you've taken away from the program or you'd like to pass on to them, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I'd love to say just don't overthink it. If you have a passion for anything digital, but also anything health, don't overthink it and just do it. It is an amazing opportunity, and you won't regret the relationships that you'll start to form and the network that you'll be able to lean into. So just say yes.
Yeah. And for me, I think it was really, I was really nervous about coming because I didn't think that I was in the position that I'm in, and I didn't think I was a leader of this area, but the women are so strong and so beautiful, and really great relationships have been built, and I learned a lot from everybody. So it was great to fit in.
And I'll just add that personally I've done leadership courses before. Yep. This was very different. This was really transformational, concentrating on the whole person and the development of the person as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your celebration.
Thanks, Nathan.
Thank you.
I'm Aimee Solomon. I'm the Chief Pharmacy Information Officer at ACT Health.
Wonderful. And can you just tell me a little bit about your career so far and what brought you into this program?
Yeah, so I've worked in digital health for nearly 12 years, I think. I was a registered pharmacist before I moved into the digital health space, and I've worked in a lot of different projects, particularly around medication management and improving quality and safety of medication management through digital health.
Fantastic. And so just in your reflections of the program over the last 12 months, for any of our listeners who might be considering joining the program or being involved in digital health more broadly, I mean, what's a reflection or something you might like to say to them?
Yeah, so it's been an amazing program, and I've developed myself and my leadership skills immensely. And in terms of other people wanting to move from perhaps a clinical role into a digital health role, what I would say is digital health is health. And just if you want to improve patient care, it's a great opportunity to move into the digital space and have a big impact on patient outcomes.
Wonderful. Look, thank you so much for your insights, and enjoy the rest of your celebration.
Great. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Talking Health Tech. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this episode with someone who might find it valuable. For more information and resources about healthcare innovation, visit talkinghealthtech.com.